If you value your career and the potential for a quality life after the military, i.e. not a bad conduct discharge, I would avoid doing these 7 things because they can get you kicked out of the military really fast and not in the way you want to go home. The very first one is desertion or AWOL, right? This is the, unexcused absence, UA, all the things. Everybody knows that desertion's bad and it actually still can get you killed, punishable by death, right? There's still an option for a firing squad in the military. That said, not a common thing. In fact, I don't know the last time it happened. It was probably a long ass time ago. But the point is, you don't want to be a deserter. You don't want to be AWOL. You don't want to be UA. I actually know a girl who got in quite a bit of trouble for this stuff. She got hit with missing a movement to deploy, essentially. Long short, she got incredibly intoxicated and missed the entire bus movement the next day to deploy, to move to the airport to go to Afghanistan, and it did not bode well for her career. We'll just kind of leave it at that. There were some, she tried to kind of play victim and make some allegations about some things that happened and all this, that, the other. And unfortunately for her, it was all on parking lot security cameras around the barracks that she just got hammered and basically walked behind the barracks and fell asleep in the bushes and then slept all the way through the time they were supposed to leave for deployment because nobody could find her ass asleep in the bushes. So, don't be AWOL, don't desert, it doesn't end well. Number 2 here is espionage, right? Spying. This is the major security violations, unauthorized disclosure of classified info. This one, you think you're like, man, no, probably not going to do that. However, I have a good friend who's a real estate agent, and he had a transaction he was trying to work for an assumable VA loan. And he was really working with these clients for a long time. And one day we're talking and he's like, yep, that deal just got blown up. I'm like, well, what happened? Like, you were doing all this work. I thought it was good. He's like, yeah, it was good. Transaction was good. My client just got accused of selling secrets to, I believe it was China, and in fact was selling government secrets and was picked up, scooped up, and off you go. Not exactly the way you want to leave the military. And the funny thing here, I'm not going to talk dollar amounts, but the amount of money that this individual made for selling government secrets, not enough. Like, if you're going to sell your soul and go to the brig and get bad conduct discharge and all the other things and essentially ruin your life going forward, you should make enough money that you can not have to worry about your life going forward. And I don't think homeboy made 20 grand. I think it was like 5 or 10 grand. So, like, not saying you should sell your secrets or do espionage for the right price, but I mean, come on, guys. Like, 5 grand is not worth selling out your country and ruining your life. It just isn't. Like, I don't know. There's nothing else I can say to that. Number 3 is serious criminal convictions, felonies, off-base stuff, right? So this is just nothing good, right? If you are committing felonies of any sort on base, it does not bode well. If you're committing them off base, it bodes even worse because now you're in the public eye and now you're going to get charged in the civilian sector and the military sector, vice just dealing with the brig and military side, which still not good, but better than double hit, right? Number 4 here is sexual assault, sexual harassment. The military does not play with these. I know there is a stipulation and there's always people who say that the military does awful with this and they protect their own. And look, I have seen a lot of careers ruined over both legitimate sexual assault and harassment charges that ruined the person's career and life because they deserved it for doing all of that. But I've also seen those charges made erroneously and then ruining the person's life who made those allegations falsely. And so this is just not a realm to play around with, right? Like, we all know the rules of consent. We all know the difference between assault and harassment in this context. You know right and wrong. Do the right thing. If you're going to be in an iffy situation, which I don't recommend, do it with other people around as witnesses, i.e., like, just good practice. If you're intoxicated, probably don't be alone with somebody that's not like your romantic partner and you're just asking for trouble. And I'm not going to go into too much more about that. You're big boys and big girls. Just do the right thing and around and find out. Not the world you want to live in. Don't get sexual charges. Don't get any of these charges, but definitely don't do the sexual charges because nobody wants to be a registered sex offender. That'll ruin your life for sure, just like all the rest of the stuff, but even more so because now you're on the freaking sex offender list, which is, I don't know, like something about not being able to go to your kid's school. Sounds to me. Number 5 here is actually what you can do before you even get into the military, but you can get wrapped up in this even further down the road, and that is fraudulent enlistment, right? This is falsifying documents. This is lying about service-connected conditions or criminal history. This is the kid who said he never did drugs and then has a drug charge. This is the kid who got deported and didn't tell anyone. This is the applicant who says, I've never done any drugs, gets to boot camp and says, I've done heroin 3 times. This is the applicant who thinks that they can cover a felony and it pops up at boot camp. Like, just be honest during your enlistment process about things that can come back to haunt you. Right? And I've got tons of videos on these. If you want more MEPS videos and more enlistment videos and more disqualification videos, go dig through my military advice playlist, because there's a ton that goes specifically into that. But long short, if you didn't bring it up, then take it to the grave with you. Because if you bring it up or get caught, the falsifying enlistment, fraudulent enlistment, falsifying information, that side of the house can very quickly get you booted. And also it looks really on your recruiter too, so you're screwing yourself and somebody else over your own dishonesty. So just be real, be authentic. And if you're gonna not choose to be real and authentic, take it to the grave and don't get anyone else in trouble with you, because that's on you. Number 6 here, this one's gonna surprise nobody, but testing positive or getting caught with illegal drugs. Now this could be, steroid usage if you get caught and then they make you do the test. But this is more common to be, like my I'm not gonna name names, but the guy who I worked with in Okinawa, Japan, who got caught doing cocaine. Or the guy who popped on the drug test for marijuana in Afghanistan, or the guy who there's probably a number of people who've gotten in trouble for a number of things, but the bottom line is this. To quote South Park, drugs are bad, okay? Drugs are bad. Just stay the hell away from it while you're serving. And to be fair, probably stay the hell away from it, period. But, I'm not one to tell you, like, don't drink or don't smoke a little weed if it's legal where you live and you're of age and you're doing all the things within the, the law. But while you're serving, and after, just obey the laws of the land, do the right thing. Number 7 would be willful disobedience of an order that can result in danger to others, i.e. disobeying a command for a troop movement in combat or, other situations. Now, disobeying direct orders is always frowned upon. However, there are movies that like to glamorize, like, if the order was wrong.
No, sir, I do not concur, and I do not recognize your authority to relieve me under command under Navy regulation.
Well, okay, if you're being ordered to, shoot somebody that you have no business shooting, don't do that. If you're being ordered to do things that are just blatantly illegal, that's a whole different thing. But if you're in combat and you're being told to go that way, you go that way. That's it, and if you put people in harm's way by disobeying lawful orders, it will come back to bite you, right? So don't do that. Okay, now here's a couple of things that also can get you in trouble or get you slowly rolled out of the military, but these are not immediate boots. So one would be, and I'm just going to read this short list, repeated poor performance or misconduct, a pattern of misconduct, major financial misconduct, theft, embezzlement, but also you can get bad enough that you lose your security clearance just by being awful with debt and finances and bankruptcy. And so that could remove you from the ability to do your job, which could hinder your future career and even get you admin sept as well. Serious medical, mental health, and fitness, i.e. you can get med sept for injuries, mental or physical, if they, and this can be things that happen to you, things that came up. This can be, there's a number of reasons that this can happen. So all of these can lead to your exit from the military, but they're not nearly as egregious, and a medical issue is not going to get you a bad conduct discharge. They will just get you medically retired, medically separated, right? Look, guys, do the right freaking thing when nobody's watching, right? Character, integrity, honor, courage, commitment in the Marine Corps. Use your core values, do your things, do the right thing, just stay out of trouble, right? If you avoid these 7 things, having a quality career in the military is not that crazy hard. Do the right thing, whether people are watching or not. And if you're going to do the wrong thing, don't get caught. But I would not advise doing the wrong thing anyway. Just don't be an idiot, right? That's it. You shouldn't need me to tell you, hey, in the military, drugs are bad. Rape is bad. Beating the out of somebody you shouldn't beat the out of is bad. Felonies, bad. Lying on your federal enlistment papers, bad. You don't necessarily need me to tell you these things, and yet you do, because they happen. So, hey, if you found one of these that you didn't know, comment down below, or if you've got something else that you know of that I missed on this list that should have been on there, comment and share the love. But either way, I hope you guys found this useful, and best of luck with your career in the military. Have a great day.